Hello there, Tia. Hello there, Rob the Phoenix. Hey there, Ruby Scar. Let's see, let me explore my settings real quick. Thanks for following, Devlar. Good to see you all here. Thanks for the likes, everybody. Today's been a pretty slow day for me. I just worked out and then did one spell. Now I'm here. Let's see what this does. Baby head. Perfect. Have I worked with Glacia Labialis before? Not recently, but I have an essay about him. You've been following me for years. You love everything I do and write. Thank you. What's this do? Oh. This is kind of cool. I might leave this. You're welcome, Brian. And thank you for the gifts. Wonder if I should leave these on. Should I leave these on? I don't know if I should leave these on. It seems like a bit much with all the lights I have. This does what? Huh. Move back to hide. Yes. Huh. Move back to hide. Yes. Hey kids, want to summon a demon? Sorry, I'm very shy. Do I think meditation is an important aspect of spiritual development? Yes, very. One of the specific types of meditation I recommend highly is chakra meditation, but I also have a playlist of meditative techniques on this here TikTok account. Thank you for the gift, Siona. But yeah, like any witch occultist will tell you should meditate. Apparently, this filter disagrees with me. What's this do? Hey. You got any drugs? Who are the ascended vampires? The ascended vampires, who are often referred to as the undead gods or Strigoi Morte, are the spirits of practitioners like you and me who specialized in psychic vampirism in life. So basically what people do is they'll feed on a bunch of other humans, then they'll summon the ascended vampires, and then the ascended vampires will feed off the energy that you've collected. Then, if they deem you worthy, which they usually do, even for beginners, they'll pump you full of their own energy, which will permanently empower and improve you. Now, there's about 2 different types of ascended vampires. Some of them are sort of bound to the earth, but the more powerful ones are bound from it. Some people strive to become an ascended master, but I'm trying to go even higher than that. Any recommendations for working with Hecate and her deity masks? Yeah. I find that she and her spirits like to be summoned barefoot. And one really effective way to summon her is to do so holding 2 lit tiki torches. That's extremely powerful. Also, if you fill the room with the energy of the star Al Ghul, that'll help a lot. Having bones present in the ritual space helps. Vampires are real. So a vampire in this context is someone who feeds off the spiritual energy of other humans. I did not decide to call them that. That's just what they've always been called since before I was born. But yeah, there's all kinds of different occult organizations that specifically specialize in the practice of psychic vampirism. If you pick up a like a dictionary of vampires, or there are multiple books like that, they'll talk about how different types of every different religion had belief in some type of entity or some type of witch that could be called a vampire, such as succubi, for example. I'm the only one you trusted here. I appreciate that. Also, thank you to whoever joined my fan club earlier. It's called DWMG, Devil Worship Money Gang. Is it normal for nothing to happen during an invocation? It means you need more practice. Or to, like, try harder. What makes someone worthy? I'm not sure. I've never seen someone get rejected. I'm going to invite Vallathial to join in case she wants to. She might be busy. Hey, Nick Nevin. Life is good. I hope you can say the same. The Ethical Psychic Vampire is a good, decent book to start at. I agree. Thanks for all the gifts. Oh yeah, the Psychic Vampire Codex is probably the best book on psychic vampirism I've ever read. Hey, Meep. Nope, you're doing good. Thanks for coming. Ice Age Baby. Read one called The Psychic Sanguine Vampire was mostly good. Cool. You're surviving. I'm glad things are better than they used to be. What was Adam's first wife called? You mean Lilith? I have mixed feelings about that story. Mostly because it originates from a work of satire. Oh gosh, another Bible thumper. Can I please just... Hey, Val.
Vicky.
Hey, do you want to be a guest? I have
Sure,
no...
why not?
Thanks for coming, then. How are you tonight?
I'm good. It's like 7 a.m. already here. I woke up super early. I don't know why.
Oh, wow. So it's like morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically your alarm clock right now.
Yes.
Normally, your alarm clock presumably does not have an audience full of people asking for information about witchcraft.
No, but somehow I don't mind that at all. I have nothing better to do anyway.
Heck yeah.
How are you tonight?
I'm very good. Uh, you basically know what my entire day's been like. Brian says, what's your opinion about modern demonology? Would I recommend it? I would say yes. What about you?
Me too, yeah.
What do you think about the story of Lilith being Adam's first wife?
Honestly, I don't think she was really his first wife. More like... I don't know, like she wasn't created to be his first wife. I kind of have a personal belief, and personal gnosis that she and Satan also, as the aspect of Samael, were actually like two sides of the same coin. Basically, the masculine and the feminine aspect of the same being, and they played a role in attempting to liberate the first people by Samael showing up as the serpent. But I've also read theories that Lilith was actually the serpent in the garden that tempted Eve. There's many variants of that story.
Yeah, I've always just discarded and ignored the rumor that Lilith was Adam's first.
Same. It doesn't make sense to me. Because even when you summon her, you can just tell that she has that energy of a super primordial being.
Yeah, I agree. Someone asked if I can tell when someone's cast a spell on me. Only if I pay attention, which I usually don't. I ignore most of the people trying to bring me down. I just let it bounce off the wards. What about you?
Same.
Yeah, okay.
Same here.
Like, if I spend all my time, like, I just put up, like, the biggest, strongest, nastiest protections I can and go about my day. If I get sent proof that someone's after me, I might do something about it.
Same, I don't have the nerves to deal with this shit. If I feel like it's something serious, I just do a very nasty return to sender and it usually gets the job done.
Once in a while, I'll, like, clear my head and just let myself sense the different baneful attempts on me. And I'll just, like, draw from the power of my soul to simply send them back one at a time. Doesn't take me much effort. Most of the people trying to take me down are like roaches trying to nibble at the heel of a giant. Which is a bad metaphor for me because I just walked into at least 15 short jokes. Hashtag short queen. How tall are you again?
5'3", so I'm also a short queen.
Okay. Let's see what these other questions are. Any insight on the Lilith slash Naama connection? I'm going to give my opinion. If you have a different opinion, by all means give it. I'm not here to argue, but it's worth hearing your perspective as well. Some say that Lilith is the daughter of Naama. No, Naama is the daughter of Lilith. Some say they're sisters. Daughter always felt right to me, so that's what I go with. What do you think?
That's what I think as well, but those family connections with them, they don't really make sense since they're not human. I mean, she could be somehow her daughter and sister at the same time, and that's just something that we can't truly understand. But yeah, definitely Naama being her daughter makes more sense to me.
Your answer just put the val in valid. That was cheesier than the pickup lines I use on dating apps. And those are intended to be cheesy. BK, what's my opinion on us devil dancers? Devotes of the folk divil. I have no opinion or insight in regards to that tradition. What about you, Val?
Devotees of the folk devil. I haven't really interacted with folk devils, actually. There's a tree in my hometown that has a folk devil. They're pretty cool beings, but from what I've heard from other practitioners, they're kind of tricky, so you guys are definitely interesting to hang out with.
I'm sure it's a valid practice, but I don't know anything about it.
Same.
Meep asks how I know that I'm getting my information from a spirit and not from my imagination. Two ways. Interacting with other practitioners, discussing your findings. The other way is really just time and experience. It's that simple.
Oh, yes, I get that. I used to struggle with that when I was younger, but you get used to it.
Everyone, make sure you follow Val. She's dope.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Practicing meditation often is definitely a good way to learn to tell apart your own thoughts from information that you're receiving.
That is very true. Let's see. I agree with you, 21 Sakai. What does it mean when you have vivid dreams and wake up with the physical signs? Um, Depends on what you mean by physical signs. I have interacted with Bune. Um, he's very good for necromancy as well as for getting a job. I got asked about Vinay as well. Vinay is yeah, I do pray to him time to time. I have essays on both of those spirits on my free website. I've summoned both. Vinay is very good for putting astral booby traps in your home. So if someone were to try to project into there maliciously, they'll walk into something they don't want to walk into. You have any experience with either of those, Val?
No, you're like a walking encyclopedia for demons, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, I pray to Vinay to harm those who try to cast on me maliciously. Sometimes. I put that in my nightly devotional prayers. So Nick Nevins said, "What type of experience do I have with shades? Is that the same as poltergeists? I don't. That could mean anything. Oh, markings on the body after vivid dreams. Um, that really would depend on what you see symbolized in the dream. You'll have to analyze the dream, and analyze the surrounding context. I've never had spirits leave physical marks on my body. I've heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Hood 3 Villain says Bune entered my energetic space in my room at 3 a.m. Yeah, 1 to 3 a.m. are considered the infernal hours.
Definitely.
And blocking another Bible thumper. Gotta block at least 3 people per live.
We can't escape them, unfortunately. But no, they're kind of fun to talk with when you're bored.
Random objects started falling over when Bune appeared to you. That means he really wanted your attention. Um, on one occasion, I was in Costa Rica. I was staying with, this woman I was involved with at the time. Um, and she saw one of my protectors standing outside the Airbnb. And that particular protector, known as the man with the hat, he emanates fear, so it kind of scared her. She was newer to magic. Um, but basically, the man with the hat wanted me to put some protections up because there was someone who was about to try to cast on me that night. And he actually started doing a little poltergeist activity and continued to do so until I finally got up and put up the protections. Like that, like it was the same protections that I usually put around places I'm staying at when I travel, but I've been postponing them because that woman kept wanting to do other things first. But eventually the man with the hat said, "You need to do this now." And then within like a couple hours after I put them up, someone from my past hit me up, cussing me out over a rumor she heard, talking about how she's gonna hex me again and all that. Is there some connection between Hecate and wolves? Yes. Um, so the Kunes Ideo or hellhounds serve her. She has a sort of a lycanthropic aspect called lycania. You have any thoughts on the Hecate Wolf Association, Val?
I've definitely read about her being associated with wolves and black dogs. I'm not that knowledgeable on the Hellenic pantheon, though.
All right. She works really closely with Lilith and other demons.
Yes, I'm primarily infernal.
Yes.
And just the only angel that I work with, Michael. He's fucking amazing.
Yes, I can see spirits. Both of us can. Our
Yep.
whole friend group can. Siona has dreamt of men with wolf heads and tiki torches, carrying her into the woods. I believe that would represent initiation. Look into the demon Parfaxitus, Parfaxitas. He's a clefothic archdemon heavily associated with lycanthropy. I did not have interactions with spirits when I was a child that I'm aware of. What about you, Val?
Interactions. I've been able to see the dead since I was a child. I had a few interactions with some deceased relatives that pretty much freaked the fuck out of me. But with any higher spirits, no.
Kiss Lamius' Hecate also has the epithet Leucodamna, meaning wolf tamer. I didn't know that one. Thank you. Meep, you asked about Future Sight. A good Goetic demon for that is Beleth. Would you have a recommended demon for Future Sight? You specified Goetic.
For Goetic, I don't know. From my experience, Nama is good for looking into the future and the past.
Siona, the demon's name is Parfaxitas. That's Parfaxitas. If you go to my free website and type that name into the search bar, I'll have a whole essay on him. That is correct, Ishmael. That's exactly how it's spelled. Do I have experience working with Malthus? Yes. He's one of the few Goetic demons that actually could be accurately considered a fallen angel, and he's very good for motivation. Thank you, Nick Nevin. Do you work with Malthus at all? No?
Nope.
Ah. You're missing out on so many great spirits, man.
I guess I try to keep my circle small, so I make sure I don't really neglect any of them of attention.
Thank you, everyone, for all the likes, gifts, and follows. Make sure you follow Vallathial, too. She's a badass. Oh, crap. You're not supposed to use profanity.
Yes, thank you, and I thank everyone who's followed me.
Mara Papias, thank you for whatever question that was. I don't know what that is and or meant. Nick Nevin always sees an old horned man. Never put thought into it until I was probably 26 when I started my devotion. I'm guessing to the folk devil. Astaroth, the male aspect, and Astarte, the female aspect, are both completely valid. I love both. Is there a way to see spirits? Yes. Chakra meditation will develop that ability. Have I ever had a target's divine protectors attack me directly after fulfilling curse or hex work? They've probably tried. This place is like a fortress. Someone got something to land on me last year, but I removed it pretty quickly before it had a chance to do much harm. Hello, Aaron. What is the meaning of bats and dogs and dreams? Well, dreams are personal. You have to think about what bats and dogs represent to you. It would be good to get a book about animal magic that you can look up different animal symbolism in, because sometimes that's what helps me figure out what's being represented. I know bats are associated with the infernal.
Definitely.
Thanks, Goku, for saying you respect me. Nick Nevin wants to work with demons, just don't have the time to be there for them as they need. Also,
You don't really need that much time. Like, you can pick one or two and just devote like an hour to them per night.
Yeah.
That will be sufficient.
is it bad to draw Medusa's tattoo? I don't have tattoos, so I don't answer questions about them. Do you have an opinion on that, Val?
I am a tattoo apprentice, so the Medusa tattoo is usually for victims of sexual assault that have survived it. It's like a coping mechanism because you know the story of Medusa. But it's not really bad to draw it. Like, anyone can get it tattooed. It's just that most of the time certain tattoos have symbolism to them. Like, before you get a tattoo, I believe that you should research its meaning because a lot of people end up accidentally getting gang tattoos on them. Beat that.
So, what would I recommend to work against the system with? Lilith would be good for that. So, I think Malkuno fat is good for affecting political change, and I think the Goetic demon Ose is as well. I have essays about both of them on my WordPress, the free site. Lucifer is good for exposing people for who they really are, as is Valak.
And Belial.
Why didn't I think of Belial? I'm a moron. That's the most obvious one.
Yeah.
Am I a traveling man? Only when I have someone to meet up with. Brian says Lady Astarte can be so loving that it's inexplicable. I'm going to flip the camera for a sec. You'll have to look at a red blob for a minute. Can demon protection be bulletproof? No one's untouchable. It can be very, very
Fact.
thorough. Yes, Hood, I've been a full-time occult professional for 6 years. I've been casting spells for 15 years. Of course I practice. How do you think I write these essays about demons? I summon them. Do I know Croshan? No. What demon surprised me the most? Valak. Valak was very chaotic and unpredictable, but it all worked out for the best in the end.
Moloch and Lilith for me, they taught me the hardest lessons that I did not expect at all.
Thanks for explaining the whole traveling man thing. I didn't know what that meant. Yes, ghosts can follow around people they knew in life.
Yep, especially the dead.
What demons are good for necromancy? Oh, that is a list. I'll give you a few. Gargophius, Bune, Euronymous, Nibirius, the Antifaxath, Niantiel, Gwysion. You get the
Cain, Samael. Who else? Even Lucifer can help you with necromancy, actually.
I don't know if you heard that. My computer, I think, restarting for some reason. Oh, what techniques are good for mind discipline? Yo, meditate with the demonic N or some other summoning chant for the Goetic demon Ram. That's Raum. He specializes in building discipline. Do you have any recommendations, Val?
Moloch is also excellent for building discipline, both mental and physical discipline.
Do I have clairvoyance? If so, when did I notice my gift? So, when I was a kid, there was a time when I was rocking back and forth on a chair, and I had a vision of the Kundalini, and the concept of reincarnation just came to me like a divine revelation. It was a very bizarre experience, but I discarded it because I was raised Christian. I was like, well, good thing I know what actually happens in the afterlife. But then,
Well, I've
years
had so many similar experiences.
years passed, and at 16, I did a meditation to open my third eye, and then I started seeing spirits somewhat consistently. But yeah, go on, Val.
I remember that I would like when I would lose an object, and randomly I'd be sitting somewhere doing the most random thing, and suddenly I get the vision of the place where that object is, and I would go and check that place, and that object would be there. I would also randomly, whenever I woke up or before I fell asleep, get visions of certain events happening that later actually happened. So I made sure to develop that later on, and it's a very useful thing now.
Hood doesn't fear a lot, but the moment he sensed the presence of Bune, yeah, Bune is pretty. She's like pre-Cliffothic, so awesome. Can you know that your Cliffa trial is just finished? I'd recommend asking your higher self. Oh, Sean says he liked your latest Patreon post, Val.
Yeah, I just read that. I'm very happy about that.
Yes, John, Bune is great to work with for business and riches. And yes, legal. It'll vary a bit by person, but yeah. Domina asked for information on Noctulius. So Noctulius was a god of night worshipped in northern Italy. Record of him goes back to the writing of Bernard de Montfaucon in 1719. So he is mostly known for vampirism, but he also controls natural disasters. He's good for psychic abilities. He's very like friendly and paternal in my experience, but he can also be ferocious and predatory. I have a whole essay on him on WordPress. He's good for initiation, developing psychic abilities, all kinds of stuff.
Someone's asking what meditations you did to open your third eye. Did you summon any demon to help you heighten that sense, I guess? Not really, but frequent communication with spirits really helps you develop that. For me, it took about 2 years of very frequent summonings and rites, and slowly over time I started seeing them, hearing them better. Also, the more you interact with a certain entity, the more your energetic rapport with them grows. You'll be able to sense their presence, like tell them apart from other spirits much quicker.
So the meditation I did to open my third eye, I found it on a random website. First, you use a certain hand position like this, with like the tip of this fingernail touching the side of this fingernail. You move the positioning until you feel it kind of click, and then you vibrate the name Thoth, the Egyptian god. So the vibrated name, you inhale deep, filling the bottom, middle, and top of your lungs. And then once they're full, you go with your entire lung capacity. So you're supposed to do that like 7 times and do it 3 days in a row. That's the technique I used, but there are countless other valid techniques that you can find online and in print. I do have a method for opening the chakras in the chakras playlist on this channel. If the technique I give does not work for you, try another one you find online. You can easily Google how to open the chakras and find all kinds of different methods that are worth trying. What about you, Val?
I've done similar things, but mostly what helped me develop my third eye was practice. I had some blockages on it because I also come from a religious background. I used to do meditations with Lucifer before about that, so he helped me a lot.
There's a better sigil for Noctulius on my website in my essay about him, the free one, the WordPress. Dio asks, does Nehemos' trial always cause blocked connections to infernal deities?
That's the first time I'm hearing of that. That wasn't the case for me when I initiated through Nehemot.
Or for me, but the cliff off is an incredibly personal thing, and it's a bit different for every one of us.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
I'd recommend doing some divination on why you're experiencing this blockage, because it could be part of the trial. Maybe the trial is like causing some type of internal issue to bubble to the surface, and that issue is blocking the connection. Overcoming it, whatever it is, could be what the trial is. Sly, everyone likes dark humor. Everyone here, at least. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just a sense of humor. Thanks, Bawan Finrear Mercer. So dreams have to be analyzed based off what they could symbolize to you, because it's your mind, and they have to be put into context of what's going on in life. Like, I can't interpret every single stranger's dreams. That's an unrealistic expectation. Like, the symbolism varies by person. Like, what would it mean to you in your mind? There's no set meaning. It's your dream. What are some signs that you're in the cliff off without knowing you're in? That would vary by person. I would recommend doing some tarot readings about it. So if the symbol of Leviathan was stamped on your head during astral projection, that's just an alchemical process. Having sigils engraved into your energetic body is normal, and it's part of demonic transfiguration. You ever had symbols stamped onto your body, your astral body, Val?
All the time. Lately, I've been doing frequent alchemical rites with Samael, and every time I get all these writings and symbols on me, I don't really understand them, but I figured out what they're for.
Were you raised Christian as well, Val?
Yup, Orthodox.
Rafita says, what can we do to help get rid of past religious traumas from churches?
Definitely blasphemy.
Yes, ritualized blasphemy. Like, create a ritual where you praise the devil and demons, all that, and blaspheme Christ, Yahweh, so on and so forth. Do those regularly. Some people use reverse baptisms, but those are optional. You should do some type of blasphemy ritual, but it doesn't necessarily need to include a reverse baptism. There was 2 occult authors I've seen release rituals that where you recite the Lord's Prayer backwards, not backwards as in Amen, evil deliver us from, but as in Neme, Levi, Morphsa, Revelid. That's one technique. And of course, you can do a reverse baptism where you renounce God, praise Satan, and then step into a bathtub. Yeah, it's normal to have fear of hell or judgment at first. Just keep doing the blasphemy. try to avoid direct exposure to Christian stuff outside of a blasphemous context as much as you can. Sean really likes doing a ritual for my website, the free one, called the Pernicious Heresy of Havioth. Yeah, if you type Havioth into the search bar on my free site, that ritual will be one of the things that come up. That's a good blasphemy ritual you can do. I also have a reverse baptism ritual on my Patreon. Thanks for liking the live, and thanks for all the gifts. And thank you, Val, for being here. You're doing great.
Thank you.
I think I'll re-upload this one to my YouTube channel since you're a guest.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Seiji. Am I live on YouTube? Not right now. Thank you for sending the heart. Welcome to DWMG, Devil Worship Money Gang. So I do live streams on YouTube and TikTok separately. How can I talk to the spirit? I feel his presence. Shut your eyes and ask the spirit to appear in your mind's eye. Don't try to imagine it. Let it appear. It might look the same way it does in the books, but it might take a different form, perhaps even a different gender than you would expect. Once you can see it, ask it a question or ask, do you have anything to tell me? And then let its voice flow through your mind. If you have trouble hearing him, do some more chakra meditation and some more regular divination to help build up those psychic abilities, and then try again. What's the name of my Patreon? Check the link tree. It's just VK Johannem, all one word. But if you check my link tree, it has a link to my Patreon, my free site, everything. Thanks for asking, by the way. Aaron likes my work. Glad to hear it. You're buying a ritual in the future. You know 3 spirits around you. Nice. Thanks for following Ad Dang and everyone else. Do you need some sort of initiation? You can actually perform a ritual of self-initiation, and I highly recommend it. There's a ritual of self-initiation on my website. You can just type in initiation into the search bar. But there are also other equally valid rites of shaitanic initiation that you can find online and in print. You can also create your own. Is it normal to feel so spiritually drained when working with demons? What do you think, Val?
I've had experiences where they would on purpose make me feel drained just to push me into setting more firm boundaries. So yes, it can be normal because they will do that. But not all the time. It should be empowering instead. But sometimes they can do that. They can make you feel sick even. Just to push you into setting a boundary. That's kind of a secret, but and not something that's very known, but they do love it when you're not afraid to stand up for yourself. They won't take it as disrespect if they do something that you don't like and you speak up about it.
Thank you so much, Triales. Welcome to the DWMG, Devil Worship Money Gang. Sometimes when you've done a lot of spiritual work consistently, you can hit a period where you feel like exhausted and kind of depressed. Oftentimes, this means that you have hit an evolutionary milestone and you need to take a few days break from magic to let the evolutionary changes seep in. The first rite of self-initiation to Satanism is not dangerous. Welcome to the fan club. Thank you so much. What does the demon of wealth want exactly for us to work together? Well, generally, the demons want you to put in real world work to garner that wealth. You know, if you want to raise at your job, you have to keep going to work, stuff like that. In one case, a friend of mine summoned Bune and asked the demon to get him a new job, and Bune said, "Only if you get a hobby. You're gonna work yourself. You're gonna overwork yourself. You need a hobby." So the guy picked up computer programming as a hobby, and he got the job. A best Goetia demon for safety while driving. The demon I work with for safe travels is Satana Chia, aka Satan Chia. That's Satanchia. I have an essay on her about my website. An essay about her on my website. Ugh.
Any do's and don'ts for beginners? So, do read any book that you can get your hands on. You can never read too much. Just don't overwhelm yourself, though. Do work on developing your psychic senses. Do practice good spiritual hygiene. Do know how to recognize astral parasites, how to defend yourself against parasitic beings, because those can really mess you up. Do practice protection magic first and foremost. Don't... I would say... Don't let a curse be your first spell when you don't know what you're doing. It can be. There's not really rules to that, but it can mess you up if that's your first thing and you have no clue what you're doing. Don't believe the threefold law. Don't let anyone dictate how you're going to do your practice.
Siona asked if there are any demons connected to poison or worms. I'm going to let you handle that because I have to pee real quick. Is that all right?
Yep.
I'll make it quick.
About worms, I'm not really sure, but connected to poison, we all know that Samael, his name literally means poison of God. So how would you know if the protection magic is working? Well, you won't get hit by other practitioners, or if you do get attacked spiritually, it will not land. You may get subtle signs of it, like headaches, but that should be it, nothing more than that. Even if someone does land a curse or a hex on you, it's not the end of the world. Usually it's very easy to reverse them, because most people forget to cloak themselves properly whenever they send a baneful attack towards someone. So it's basically like shooting an arrow, but the energy of that arrow is still tethered into that person. So just a return to sender will do the job. That really was quick.
Yeah. Well, it's a studio apartment. Azazel and Bune can both help you get jobs really quickly. Who teaches me magic? I've had 3 mentors and 3 leaders, organization leaders over the years, but I'm still mostly self-taught. I still get most of my information from my own reading and my own communion with the spirits. So, I have benefited from the leaders and mentors I've had, but it's really mostly come from me. I'd still be pretty good at this if I hadn't had any mentors or leaders. Can't believe I spent 3 whole years part of the same organization. That was a wild one. I'm solitary now, to be clear. No mentors, no apprentices, no leaders. It's been that way for a couple years. Yeah, Seiji, my bladder hasn't been that full since the last time I woke up hungover.
Sleepyhead asks, do you have to work with angels too when you're working or worshipping demons? Not necessarily, but it's good to have some sort of balance.
Okay, Siona, I've told you repeatedly that you need to interpret your dreams myself. I cannot just do that for every stranger in the chat. If you keep asking about your dreams, I'm going to mute you. Oh, hey, Mia. Do I want
Mia.
apprentices? The only the only apprentice I could ever see myself taking would be a local friend. I have not read Demons of Magic. I think I've read Angels of Magic. That was good. Hey, Chaos. Hey, Sleepyhead. As for if you're saying which demons are good for balance, I'd say the Goetic demon Amon. Sly, I think that's just tinnitus. Yeah, sorry about that, May. How much is my Patreon? In order to get, one-on-one advice messages, that's only $1 a month. If you want access to all of my exclusive content, which is a massive amount, that's $9 a month. If you're willing to go to the top tier, $30 a month, you get all that and more. Plus, you will be included in a monthly ritual I do called the Sinister Rite of Abraxas, which serves to permanently increase your magical power and psychic abilities. Odin. Odin is surprisingly good for curse work. You wouldn't think that, but one night he just showed up out of the blue and said, "Hey, next time you get hired for a curse, call on me."
Really?
Yeah, basically people send me messages on Patreon at the lowest tier, $1 a month does get that perk. My answers are usually pretty short and simple because of the amount of messages I get. But yeah, that's just the most basic perk you can get. Most people who subscribe to the Patreon for an extended period of time are doing it for the $9 tier. Isn't Lucifer already both light and dark in some sense? Yes, he can appear as all light or all dark or both. Thanks for the roses, Sleepyhead. Chaos says that my Patreon is very much worth it. You're gosh darn right it is. Put out new content every month. Goku is so new to this stuff, but he'd never trust a demon? Well, remember, if you look at the Goetic or Clefothic demonologies, for example, you'll see a lot of Middle Eastern gods. In the Goetia, you'll also see beings from Greek mythology. You'll also see Amon in the Goetia, an African Egyptian god. So these are the same beings that humankind has trusted with their well-being since the dawn of time. Keep in mind, Lilith goes back to Mesopotamia. Yeah, I have limited experience with Odin, but yeah, I work with a lot of different deities. That practitioner must be full of crap, Siona. Which demons are beginner friendly, and I mean beginner? Lucifuge can interact with beginners very well. He can also be advanced. He chooses based on the person. The demons Gargophius, Niantiel, Thantophaxath are also good, as is Neymar. Isn't Paimon good for beginners? Remind me.
Yeah, I've heard of him being good for beginners.
Yeah. Oh, Cameo. The Goetic demon Cameo. He's good too.
How can someone work with angels and demons if some angels try to stop infernal operations? Now, this will have some people coming for my throat, but I believe that there was never an actual war or anything of that sort between angels and demons. And you'll be surprised to find out that most angels, such as Michael, don't actually serve Yahweh. They just serve divine order. And Yahweh is not the supreme god of that order.
May, you start with Nehemoth. Sometimes that sphere is called Lilith, but Nehemoth is probably a less confusing name for it. It's the sphere of the black earth ruled by Nehema, aka Nema. That's where you start. Who's the supreme god? The the first being, God itself, had nothing to do with the creation of this universe, and he doesn't really interact with humankind. People don't like that answer, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Who rules this world? It has many rulers. Someone asked if Lucifer is more powerful than Lilith. I don't have an answer for that. I don't like to power scale demons to that degree.
Yeah, same.
Oh, May, go to my website, hit the menu, and then hit Clifothic Self Initiation. Scroll until you find a PDF. It'll give you very simple instructions for how to initiate through the entire Clifoth.
Someone asked best way to approach Samuel. Truth is, there is no best way. Even if you're afraid, he's going to like it. He's specifically told me that he likes it when people approach him with fear because he's thrilled to show them why they shouldn't be afraid. So just go for it.
I didn't know that. I'm glad you said that. I'll keep that in mind. Rafita says Yahweh is like a schoolyard bully. That's true. That is true. Did I just see Janelle Longoria join? It says, maybe that's not who I think it is. I've spoken to her before. We're mutual fans. Someone was lying if there wasn't any war between angels and demons. So the deities in general have their various rivalries, but the idea of there being a big mass war between all angels and all demons is very much overblown. There's a story in the book of Tobit about Raphael fighting Asmodeus. They really did fight, but according to the spirits of Hecate, this is what he told my friends and I. According to the spirits of Hecate, it was Asmodeus who won that fight. But yeah, lots of Satanists work with archangels. It is common for infernal practitioners to have just difficulties approaching one or more archangels. And which archangels they have trouble getting along with varies entirely by practitioner. I tried to back in the day, I ran a little survey on which archangels different infernal practitioners were having trouble with, and I got different answers every time.
That's entirely up to the person. Like most people I know that are primarily infernal practitioners have very good experiences with Michael. Then I have one friend that has had horrible experiences with Michael. So it really varies up to the person.
I do often use sigils to connect with archangels, and I have sigils for a few of them on my website, the free one.
Corazon says, I have the book Archangel's Pathworking, and Samuel is listed as an archangel. Yes, he is listed as an archangel, but that's just an aspect of him. Think of it like a mask. Most elder gods have many different masks and aspects. We will never truly know of all of them.
How far have you initiated through the Clifoth, Val?
I have not reached that yet. I'm there, but postponing it.
Fortunately, someone asked about Thagirion specifically, which I assume you've gone through.
Yes, yes.
So, could you talk about your experience with Thagirion, if you're okay with it?
I can. It was not easy at all. I was put through very difficult trials, but I managed. Thing is, I found out later that it was the Girion that I initiated through, and it was Samael who led me through it, actually, which was kind of surprising, but it is what it is. However, the trials were kind of personal, so I don't wanna really open up about that.
That's okay. Unfortunately, I was actually guided to do. Oh, I remember what my trial was for Thagirion. So, for one thing, Thagirion really helps strengthen your connection to the Philia, the bestial aspect of the soul. Um, I was like in an apartment hanging out with a married couple one night, and the wife was super friendly. It was our first time reconnecting since high school. Um, she gave me permission to like pass out drunk on her couch. We were all drunk, but she got me like pillows and a blanket and everything. She was really considerate about it. I was like, "You're really nice," and I just heard the husband whisper, "Don't let her fake you." I said, "What?" He whispered, "She's mean." And then the room flashed yellow as soon as he said that. Realizing that someone who seemed really friendly was actually mean spirited was my trial for Thagirion. I fell out with the two of them, and they got divorced.
Tough, but that's how the Clifford is.
Yeah, on my there's a second account of mine that I have linked in my bio. If you follow that one, I'm posting videos about each of the 10 spheres, specifically about their applications and spell work. Thanks, May. She likes my lights. Anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. But thank you very much for coming, Val.
All right, I have to go prepare for my driving lesson anyway.
Have fun.
Thank you.